A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And today at this stage, we have a wonderful session talking about experience because, as we say, retail is all about experience. And we have with us a great set of panelists who have really reimagined retail, whether it's in forms of cinema, it's form of apparel, it's in form of the experience you would share with kids. So I'm going to give the mic to each one of them so that they can talk about how they are recreating experience through their own form. And let me start with you, Devang.
All right, thank you, Punita. So, hi, hello, good evening, everyone. Talking about experience, I mean, first, as we keep saying, that we need to first understand what business we are in. And for the audiences, we are into the multiplex business. And many times when, we have to select a category in which which space you are in, we get confused. Are we retailer? Are we in a food business? Or are we into a media sector? Because we do happen to exhibit movies, but at the same time, what we sell is not movies, it's all about experience. So the panel, the topic of the panel perfectly suits the business that we are in. Eventually, we decided, no, we are in the business of experience. It took us long. It's something that we keep debating internally as well. For us, what matters when we say experience is nothing but doing the basic thing right. So when we sell 300 seat in an auditorium, what matters the most is right from booking your movie ticket to selecting your own seat, coming to the cinema hall, going through the journey of occupying your seat to having a very basic hygiene factor on your seat, because every seat that we sell has to be nothing but the perfect. So having that clean chair, having a very hygienic washroom where, as you know, that in 3 hours of movie with consuming Coca-Cola, you at least use washroom once. So that's something that is so important. And then, making a great F&B experience. So in olden days, we had like packet samosas and sandwiches. From there, we moved on to gourmet food. And of course, the star product still remains the popcorn, which goes along with the movie. But what matters for us is, the right experience of having the F&B, which is offering for everyone. I mean, the sweet factory just behind you is something that, excites the kids, whereas, you'll have a Japanese sushi, which excites one segment. So, I mean, I could have, chosen to speak about, let me speak about, let's say, IMAX and 4DX and the technologies. Yes, I mean, all of these are given and that will keep on upgrading. Those are the need of the business. But what matters as an experience for us is doing the basic thing right, and not only once, but consistently every single time a customer walks in. So that's the experience for us all about.
Okay, thanks. So I'll come to you, Dhimant, and wherein you could talk about how you are reimagining experience and also talk about Imagicaa as a brand.
So good evening, everyone, and thanks for being here. So, as you know, Imagicaa is an entertainment theme park designed around experiences of different kinds. Our purpose and the mission really is to create magical and unforgettable memories for our guests and patrons. And essentially, people ask us, "What business are you in?" So, essentially, we are into business of creating happiness and moments that you cherish with your friends, families, and dear ones. So the way our business is really, we are an entertainment theme park, water park. We have a very unique devotional theme park around the life of Sai Baba. And Pan India, so currently we are more focused towards Western region. And we have 7 parks in operations. And now steadily we are looking at different geographies to expand. So for us, really, what happens is that our kind of locations are not that you visit every day or every month. These are planned visits because you generally travel 70 to 80 kilometers away from the city. You have to plan in advance. You have to have your group. So we call it the group bazi concept because nobody will generally come alone or, in a smaller groups. Generally, you will want to have a larger group, and that's where a lot of planning exercise happens. So for us, it is very important to be in the share of mind of a consumer, really to say that yes, apart from Devang generally doesn't let many people come to parks so easily because there are lots of movies that keep happening. So we have to essentially have that share of mind, share of attention clear that this is something that you ought to have in your calendar. It may not be the weekly or the monthly calendar. It has to be maybe in a 4-monthly or a 6-monthly calendar where you generally have a day or a two clearly dedicated if you are, let's say, in 100-150 kilometer catchment. Whereas if you are away from the city, we need them to plan. So our first and most important thing is to get them to plan. And our experience starts from there as to what do you convey in terms of whether through social media or whether through our ads or whether various BTL activities that we do to create that sense of excitement and expectation of experience. And that's where our journey really starts for experience, and therefore the brand promise is very important to be articulated clearly. And of course, for us to live that experience in every form of activity, right from the time you book the ticket or whether you arrive at our parking or whether you do your check-in or you start getting onto rides, what we do during your wait time in the queues. And by the time you end your day, whether it's F&B category or whether it's merchandise category or whether it is character performances, the parades, the fountain shows, the various things that we do, it's very important that you live that consistent promise of your brand. Further, we always make sure that it's very important to make our guest very comfortable, and therefore it's not always about one or two sets of language that we use. So if we see our guest in communicating in a certain language, our staff is very clearly trained to make sure that have empathy with your customers and don't try and alienate or don't try and create that disconnect. So we get lots of guests from Gujarat or we get lots of guests from southern India as well. So we try and map sometimes to those staff who are very conversant and familiar with that language. So it helps in building communication, it sets the expectation right, and we have invariably seen that when you have that kind of an approach, the customer satisfaction index really shoots up because they know that apart from the product that you have or the rides and the equipments that we offer, the empathetic staff and the overall emotional connect that we build with the guest in terms of enhancing that experience really makes a huge change. Adding to that, sometimes there are instances when there are some guests not happy or when there are mismatches in terms of expectations. So we try and encourage them to resolve the queries or resolve the issues right there before they leave, so that we understand what took place in the services that we provided. Because in our case, the content is ours, the services are ours, everything really what we do is not outsourced, right? So the end-to-end responsibility becomes something of the brand, and therefore it's far more important to get the feedback right and get it moving to the scope of improvement. Yeah, thanks.
So Sarah, I'm going to come to you and ask about the kind of experience you're creating for kids.
Thank you. Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Sarah Cressall, founder of the Creation Station, where we inspire imagination and nurture potential. And for us, and probably like you, before COVID, there was a different type of culture around. You may have seen, there was, certainly in the UK, there was a lot of consumerism. There was a focus on buying things and by acquiring things, whether that was qualifications or stuff. And certainly post-COVID, we are so much more about the experience, either gifting the experience with a ticket to a great resort, or even going to a cinema as a family. And certainly at Creation Station, we believe when we're together, we can connect and make a difference together. So we run arts and crafts creative experiences for mums and babies, that important socialization for a mum and her child to learn and connect with other parents. We do experiences for preschool, where we link with STEM, science, technology, engineering and maths, and really embed those foundational skills to help that child really develop. We do an awful lot of experiences within schools in collaboration with other businesses as well, where we'll work with businesses and bring in footfall to those locations. And we also work with companies such as gyms or leisure centres or theme parks to add extra revenue into their premises, again with providing art and craft classes, parties and events. And actually, because of the demand, we've had parents say to us, we love what you're doing with the kids love it, but we'd like to do it as well, but without the children. So 40% of our franchise partners' income now is doing creative activities with adults and bringing well-being, mindfulness, and sparking curiosity in the older generation as well. Because let's face it, we don't learn to be creative at school. School often squeezes that creativity out of us, which is it's a tragedy. Our mission is to enable every child to come out of education feeling empowered and that they can be themselves and do and follow the path of where they can get their most personal fulfillment. So thank you very much, and I'm delighted to pass you on to Sanjay.
Yeah.
So thank you. So probably I'm an afterthought as far as this panel is concerned, because I see everybody's services. I'm the only product guy over here. But having said that, I feel that in today's day and age, even with a product that you are trying to sell or market to a consumer, how well do you serve the customer and how well you manage the customer's experience becomes extremely important. And it just doesn't stop with making a good product. It actually ends with the fact that how well you have addressed each and every of his query, and how soon and in how effective manner have you done that. So for us, as I said, the journey begins by thinking of a nice and a good product and a relevant product, but it goes just beyond that, especially now that we are in retail since a while. The managing of experiences of consumers at our stores, through the interaction of our staff, through what they engage with and within the store premises, through our visual merchandising, all kind of adds up to the lure and to the pull of the product with respect to this customer. And more, I think, as audiences and as consumers ourselves, we are becoming so demanding and so pampered with respect to of being taken care of, that any deviation from the normal SOP is something which probably customers really don't appreciate. I'll just cite one small example over here. There's an audio product which I wanted to buy, and it's coming from US, and those people don't have a retail store over there. So, and they don't have a number at all anywhere mentioned. So you have to communicate only through an email, and my query gets answered, say, within 2 days. And now in India, where you are getting products in 8 minutes, a response to an email in 2 days is something really frustrating. And so this is the level of impatience that we as consumers have developed, especially in our country. So we have to be extra mindful that we manage the experience as well, because eventually that is something which will help customers to stay back with the brand. And while loyalty is fleeting, whatever little loyalty remains, that also will vanish if the experiences are not right.
Rahul, coming to you, we heard all the retailers talking about the kind of experience they are creating in the retail space, and you come from a Web3 background. So can you tell us how retail experience can be enhanced via Web3?
Sure. So there are various factors where blockchain and Web3 technologies is involving or helping retail industry in a better enhancing user customer experience. Like, in terms of, we talk about the user experience, like user wants like assurance of the security, and like when any user comes into digital platforms, so they wants to make the data secure. Like when any user comes to the platform, they store their personal information and of course their financial credentials. Like if we use any e-commerce platform, we have to first sign up, we have to use store our informations over there, and then we have also store our UPI or our credit card or debit card information. So we want security of our data. So blockchain technologies makes them secure. So give them assured like your data, either personal or financial. The data is very secure. So where blockchain technologies giving their assurance of the security of the data. Second factor I can feel the transparency, because let's take an example of the supply chain. Like in a supply chain, when the products built in the manufacturer from any manufacturer and delivered to the customer, so any user with the help of the decentralized technology, any users can track the product, so product is original or not, because there is a lot of duplicacy problem in the market. So user will track the product informations from each stage, so he can be assured like the product is original. And there are various factors. So of course, yes, with the help of the technologies, user can get the assured or can get a very good experience in terms of the like with the help of the AR and VR technologies, they can get the very rich experience. Like in a real estate industry, like user can get the see the interact the personalized experience with the products. They can review the products in a 3D space, and also like retailer real estate segment, they can get the experience of the interior and exteriors of the any property from their home. So there are a lot of factors where blockchain and Web3 technologies are enhancing their user experience.
Sanjay, I'll come back to you. I mean, you spoke about being in the product business per se, and today products are being sold across channels. Like you spoke about quick commerce, you spoke about physical stores, and also through online. So how do you ensure there is relevant customer experience which you are creating for your audience? I mean, doesn't matter which format they're buying through.
So a very honest answer is it's very difficult, because we are currently employing practically all the channels of sale that we see in India, right from quick commerce to traditional e-commerce to retail, the traditional mom and pop customer stores, everything. So, and the motivation of the person who's selling the product behind the counter is very different when it comes to each channel. So honestly, it's a very tightrope walk. There is a band in which we need to be within, and channels which are completely in your control. I think there cannot be any leeway over there. But there are certain channels which are not owned by you or managed by you. So there we have to have certain compromises, and the expectation level needs to be a little more realistic. While everybody wants to be the best on serving the customers, whether it's a shopper stop or the mom and pop store, which is my neighborhood store, but I am sure that there would be certain gaps between all these channels, and that's something that we have to live with. Try and better it as much as one can, but to have a very optimum level would be a very utopian concept, I think.
Coming to you, I mean, the way you are creating experiences for kids, is it only through the physical touch points, or you are also employing technology in any way which can further enhance the experience?
Great question. Did everyone hear that? How are we using technology to enhance experiences? We have to use technology, we use it in so many different ways. Obviously, we support our franchise partners. We have 62 franchise partners globally. So we support our franchise partners with state-of-the-art booking systems, and also in terms of our communication with them, making sure that they have access to good communication with the support teams that they need. In terms of our social media channels and all of the leads we get through that, we have collated all of our social media messages, so the team can respond, whether it's through WhatsApp, all the different social media. We have TikTok as well, which I think you're quite lucky not having it. You have to do all these silly videos all the time. But again, that's another channel of people reaching out to us. So we have collated all of the messaging. So we've got this bespoke system to collate all of that messaging. But also within the workshops, we're looking at how we use technology and interface that with creative workshops. So how we use AI, again, and teaching kids how to use technology as a force for good, for their own creativity, looking at ChatGPT and all of the other. I mean, we're just at the beginning of how technology is going to change education. So again, we want to be at the forefront. So we are collaborating with different organizations to really educate children on how to be safe with technology as well, especially online. We've also got an initiative launching next year, which is called KidBiz, really helping kids develop their own entrepreneurial spirit, so that when they leave school, even if they do well at school, but if they don't necessarily go down the academic route, they've been able to start their entrepreneurial journey and come out of school, as I said earlier, feeling empowered to achieve their own journey of success.
Interesting. Devang, coming to you, I mean, we all understand the way cinema has changed over a period of time, and the kind of experience they have been giving to audience has really seen a sea change, and that too in times of OTT. So how has that been redefined, and has technology played a role in that? I'm sure you might also be using a lot of AI, chatbot in that case. So how has that been enhanced?
I mean, technology is something which is now given. I mean, and we need to use technology, which we are blessed to have in India. We have all those technologies are available as almost 1/10 the cost of what is available globally. So, being in the country where the technology one comes at a very affordable price, and second is much more adaptable to the local condition than that of technologies which are available globally. So it's given the technology, and for example, in our business, I spoke about 4DX, I spoke about IMAX. I mean, those technologies, the projectors are changing. I mean, just before COVID, we were using the projector with a bulb, and now we've already upgraded them to laser. So that's an infrastructure in technology, but using AI, I mean, how efficiently we put marketing, how do we target, geo-targeting, how do we, connect with the local catchment is something that we continuously work on. So, I mean, in my mind, that is not even a question. It's given that you need to work along with that, and you need to go along with that.
Dhimant, coming to you, how has technology played a role in recreating experiences at Imagicaa?
So for us, there are lots of technological initiatives which we are currently exploring. So if we talk about rides and attraction, there are various experiences which are now getting designed over virtual reality or augmented reality. And we think there are early stages of experimentation at our end, because our product primarily is very physical in nature. So we've also understood that many times there are many new concepts that you keep hearing, but we think that we should allow it to mature so that we don't really rush into something from a return on investment plus the guest acceptance point of view. We did try a couple of things earlier, and we think that it needs some time to really mature. Secondly, the online business for us in terms of ticketing itself, we've seen a sea change in terms of the trend. What we used to do about 20-21% kind of online booking now has gone to almost 48-49%. So we think that the dependency on technology, every aspect is becoming very key, and thus we have in fact developed our own in-house homegrown open source software, which we think work better for us and incorporating use cases better. Yeah.
I think we've got a cue about wrapping up the session, so I'll just give a minute to each one of you to quickly conclude it with your remark about creating new age experiences for your audience.
The cost of getting repeated, but so as Sarah said, post-COVID, things have changed and people believe that you only live once. So from that perspective, experiences and experiencing everything in the best possible manner has become very, very critical and important to each and every one of us. And I think as people who are providing services or product, we need to ensure that we manage the experiences as best as possible, because probably that's a great beginning to a long-lasting relationship with the customer.
Rahul?
Yeah. So I would say with the help of the technology, the brand value and the user acquisition cost has been very reduced. With the help of the technology, you can brand your build in an efficient manner in less time. And so definitely, and of course, in terms of the decentralized space, there are a lot of, because user need trust. So you can you can gain the trust from the users with the help of the technologies. So I believe it would be game changer in a near future coming.
Sarah?
Thanks. 1 in 5 people in the UK do a creative activity every day. And that's really inspiring for me on the basis that creativity can help at any stage of your life, whether it's young, when you're learning your basic foundation, whether you're growing as a young child, or as an adult with your mental and social well-being. So I'm very positive about the future of experiences and helping each person be the amazing self that they are.
So I think we would like to definitely involve technology as an enabler, but we don't want to become, so we don't want to lose our primary purpose. So we would like to use a lot of digital detox for everyone and use technology as a means for enjoyment rather than just getting stick to it. So that's how we'll see it, yeah.
No, likewise. I mean, technology, like I said, that is something which is necessary, but experience will always overtake, a personal experience will always overtake technology in the businesses that we are in. So that's what I'm saying.
On that wonderful note, we would like to conclude the session, and I'm sure the kind of experience each of our retailers is creating, the future certainly looks immersive for us. Thank you.